The NFL free agency period is almost upon us, and at the moment of me making this video, we have 5 possible huge free agent quarterbacks that could possibly be on the move to new teams. Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Cam Newton, Drew Brees, and Dak Prescott. Each quarterback has their own backstory that they are bringing to a team, and if there is a team out there that is looking to take that next step, and all they need is a solid or very stable franchise quarterback, then they will definitely have a chance this offseason. So we know that Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers have announced that they will not be returning to their respective teams and testing the free agent waters for the first time in either quarterback's career. Dak Prescott is going through a very difficult and seemingly frustrating contract dispute with the Dallas Cowboys, and the rumor going around is that he may very well possibly be getting the franchise tag placed on him. Now, for those who don't know what the franchise tag is in the NFL, the franchise tag is a designation a team may apply to a player scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent. The tag binds the player to the team for 1 year if certain conditions are met. Each team only has one franchise tag of either the exclusive or non-exclusive forms and one transition tag per year. The designated franchise player will have his 1 year salary guaranteed if he elects to play for the team that designated him with the franchise tag, and if he does not negotiate a contract with another team. Now, there are a lot of sports analysts and reporters that are saying Dak should hold out. If this should indeed be the case, and you know what? I agree with them. But I will dive more into that a little bit later in the video. Drew Brees' situation is kind of an iffy one, and we are not hearing much coming from the New Orleans Saints except that Taysom Hill believes he is a franchise quarterback, and if the Saints are not willing to allow him to be one, then he is willing to move on from the organization. We know Hill had a string of successful plays over the past couple of seasons playing as the ultimate gadget guy in the offense, but he believes in his ability to lead a team playing exclusively at the quarterback position. You cannot help but have mad respect for a guy that has so much confidence in his ability and believes that he can be the guy to lead whether anyone else does or not. Now we have the former NFL MVP and #1 overall pick, Superman Cam Newton. Now Cam is not technically a free agent, but the Panthers have hired a new coach and for the most part completely overhauled the entire franchise, not to mention the retirement of all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly. With the aftermath of all this, we have not really heard much from Cam yet, and his future is still very undecided. But with injury-filled history over the past few seasons, it is safe to say that Carolina Panthers may very well be moving on from Cam Newton. So, the big question, of course, for all 5 of these men is, what's next? If there is a move to make, or if any. In order to answer that question, let's take a look at each of these quarterbacks based on what they will be brought to a franchise for. Basically, their resume and what they've accomplished over the years. First up, why not? Start with Tom Brady. Now, if you're not aware of what Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. has accomplished in his career, a little Skip Bayless stab thrown in there, but you have clearly either been living under a rock or you were here to learn what all this man has done over his career. Let's review. 6-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time league MVP, 14-time Pro Bowler, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, 2009 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 541 passing touchdowns to 179 interceptions, 74,571 career passing yards, and a career pass rating of 97, and a whole lot of other bullshit thrown in there. I mean, what can you say? It's pretty clear and pretty obvious what someone like Tom Brady can not only bring to a franchise, but what he can do for the culture and the fan base around the team. Now, of course, over the last few years, Father Time has been leaving Tom Brady DMs, letting him know that this is only a matter of time before his ass belongs to him. For the most part, Brady has done fairly well to stave him off. This past season, he clearly did not play like the Tom Brady we are known to see throughout his great and storied career. But he was still easily a top 10 quarterback and played at a very high level. Now, I believe if the right team can bring in his services, and all Tom Brady has to do is play at a consistent level throughout the season and make the big play only when he needs to, then it is safe to say that Tom Brady may very well be getting his 7th ring next season, and only time will tell. Next, we have the NFL Brady Bunch dad, Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers came into the NFL part of the star-studded draft class from the 2004 draft with Eli Manning and Big Ben Roethlisberger. Now, while those other two have both won 2 Super Bowl rings, and Big Ben has played in 3 Super Bowls total, Philip Rivers seems to be the black sheep of the draft when it comes to the quarterbacks, as he is the one to not only make the Super Bowl, with his peak being the AFC title game. He has not won a ring, or since that one season has he made it back to the title game or even come close to winning one. But Rivers is no slouch, and the man puts up very good numbers throughout his Hall of Fame worthy career. Let's take a look. 8-time NFL Pro Bowl, 2013 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 2010 passing yards leader with 4,710 yards, 2008 passing touchdown leaders with 34. This is the year he shared the title with Drew Brees. 397 career touchdowns to 198 interceptions, 59,271 career passing yards, and a career pass rating of 95.1. Rivers may not have experienced the team success that Brady may have seen, but it is clear the man can hold his own at the position and offer some very valuable play at the position. With the right team and situation, Philip Rivers may very well be on his way to finally winning that Super Bowl that has eluded him all of these years. And if he does, this may very well be the first time we have a trio of quarterbacks from the same draft class win a Super Bowl in their careers. I am not too sure on that. Somebody please fact check that for me. Let me know down in the comment section. We move on to my Dallas Cowboys and this always present circus that is always surrounding our franchise, it seems. So, we are in a situation where the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, at the time of making this video, have yet to come to terms on an agreement of a long-term contract extension. There are a lot of rumors going around that he may very well be hit with that damn franchise tag. Now, I am sure that if this were to happen, I fully expect to see Dak Prescott sit out throughout camp and maybe even the season until the deal gets done. He already took the huge risk this year by letting and betting on himself. And whether we want to call his numbers this year inflated or not, the man still had a hell of a career year and was among the league leaders in a lot of passing categories. In a league today where everyone wants to throw the ball to sell tickets, that means something and can go a long way in his favor. Now, Dak is only upcoming his 5th year, so he does not have a huge list of accomplishments like the previous 2 quarterbacks mentioned. But for what he has done in his short career so far, it is still pretty impressive. In his young NFL career, Dak Prescott is 2-time Pro Bowler, 2016 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, 97 touchdowns to 36 interceptions, 15,778 career passing yards, a career pass rating of 97, 1,221 rushing yards, and 21 career rushing touchdowns. Now, Dak clearly has a lot of room to grow and hopefully a long career ahead of him. But there is no doubting that despite him not being the most accurate of a passer, he is still a great leader and a model citizen when it comes to looking for a young, promising franchise quarterback. Now, as of me making this video, there is no word on a contract signing yet, but another rumor has yet surfaced, and that is that the Cowboys should part ways with Dak Prescott and sign Tom Brady and go for the wins now. Now, if that turns out to be the case, where does Dak go from here, and can Tom Brady actually lead the Cowboys should they get Amari Cooper signed to a Super Bowl and bring in a 6th title to the Triple D and get his 7th ring overall? Well, guys, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Only time will tell. But now we move on to our next quarterback on this list, Drew Brees. One of the most, if not the most prolific passer in the NFL since we started the 21st century. Now, for people who are here, and if you're not aware, Drew Brees did not start his career in New Orleans. and was not always looked at to be a great Hall of Famer like he is now. You can even argue that before he came to the Saints, the guy was looking like a below average quarterback. Not to mention, he was already not your typical prototype quarterback because he was undersized and did not come and scream the look of a franchise quarterback. Brees would start his career with this, at the time, San Diego Chargers, and was drafted with the first pick in the second round of the 2001 NFL Draft. This was the same draft that had number 1 overall pick, Michael Vick. Drew would play with the Chargers from 2001 to 2005, and the pressure mounted on Drew and jeopardized his career when they would draft fellow quarterback Phillip Rivers in the 2004 draft. In his rookie season, Brees was the backup quarterback to then Doug Flutie, who started all 16 games that season. Brees played in his first professional game on November 4, 2001 against the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 8. He came into the game to relieve Flutie, who had suffered a concussion. He finished the game with 221 passing yards and his first career passing touchdown, a 20-yard pass to Freddie Jones. The game against the Chiefs was Brees' lone appearance as a rookie. On August 19, 2002, he was named the starter for the 2002 season over Doug Flutie. Brees has started all 16 games for the Chargers. The season started off well for the Chargers with a 6-1 start, but faded quickly down the stretch with a 2-7 record over the last 9 games to finish 8-8. He finished the 2002 season with 3,284 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. That doesn't sound like the Drew Brees that we know now. But in Week 4 of the 2003 season, Brees recorded a 21-yard touchdown reception on a pass thrown by LaDainian Tomlinson in the 34-34 overtime loss to the Oakland Raiders. After a disappointing 1-7 start to the 2003 season, Brees was replaced by Flutie, though he regained the job by Week 15. In 11 games, he finished with 2,108 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Brees remained the starter throughout the 2004 season, where he started 15 games and led the team to a 12-4 regular season record. Brees posted spectacular numbers, completing 65.5% of his passes for 3,159 yards, with 27 touchdowns to only go with 7 interceptions, giving him, to that point, his best QB rating of 104.8. The Chargers won the AFC West for the first time in 10 years, and Brees was elected to the 2004 Pro Bowl. He was named the 2004 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, and in the wildcard round against the New York Jets, Brees had 319 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and just 1 interception, and in a 20-17 overtime loss. Now, after that season, Brees had become a free agent and was not expected to return to San Diego, for which the team had already promised Phillip Rivers a large sum of money. They drafted him first round. The team eventually designated Brees a franchise player, giving him a 1-year contract that quadrupled his pay to $8 million for 2005. Under the terms of the franchise player contract, Brees was eligible to be traded or to sign with another team, but the Chargers would receive 2 future first-round draft choices in return. He was not traded and continued as a starting quarterback for the remainder of the 2005 season. Under the terms of the franchise player contract, the Miami Dolphins and Saints showed interest in quarterback as he had shown a lot of potential. He would go on to sign with the New Orleans Saints, and of course, you all know the rest is history. With that being said, Drew Brees' career numbers look something like this: Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 13-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year, 2006 Walter Payton Man of the Year, 2004 NFL Comeback Player of the Year, career passing yards of 77,416, 547 touchdowns to 237 interceptions, a career pass rating of 98.4, one of only 8 quarterbacks who has passed for over 5,000 yards in a season, for which he has done by himself 5 times. Yeah, the man went off. If the New Orleans Saints do decide to move on from Brees and go forward with Taysom Hill, one can only assume that Drew is only willing to sign with the team that is looking to contend for a championship at this stage in his career. With time, we will see if Drew decides to hang it up or try his luck with another team. Alright guys, here we are, on to the last quarterback in this video, and personally, one of my favorite players to ever watch, Cam Newton. Now, the Carolina Panthers have not come out and officially said that they are moving on from Cam or if they are keeping him. But with the new hire of the coach and his staff and him wanting to get his guy in at quarterback, it is safe to say that the team will likely release or deal Cam somewhere else. This offseason, Cam will turn 31 years old and has racked up a lot of injuries since his MVP campaign in 2015. So now the question is not if, but when do they deal Cam, and where would he go, and what should a team do to try to take him? See, the thing is with Cam is, are you willing to tailor an offense to his skill set, or do you have him come in and play to your offensive style? Now, as we all know, Cam Newton is a unique kind of quarterback who has talents in passing and a very effective mobile quarterback as well. He has racked up injuries from taking a ton of huge hits over the years, and being that he is a very large quarterback who is built like a defensive end, that takes a toll on his body. Now, behind Tom Brady, Cam is the only player in this video to have won a league MVP. And in that season, he led his team to a 15-1 record while reaching the Super Bowl. Now, since then, Cam has not seen that level of success despite making the playoffs a few more times. Now, from his career perspective, this is how Cam Newton stacks up. The number 1 overall draft pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, 3-time Pro Bowl, 2015 NFL MVP, 2015 Offensive Player of the Year, 2011 NFL Rookie of the Year, 28,708 career passing yards, 182 touchdowns to 108 interceptions, a career passer rating of 86.3, 4,806 career rushing yards, and 58 career rushing touchdowns. Now, Cam might not have the most stellar passing numbers, but he can still be a very effective quarterback nonetheless. If he can keep his body healthy, and improve his mechanics just a bit more, it is safe to say that any team looking to contend for a Super Bowl should definitely give Cam a look. He has already been to the highest game played in the sport, and despite the well-known efforts on one play where he fairly well lacked the go to go for that fumble, you can't really say much about Cam. And you got to look at the fact that he took a team that didn't have the most talent at the wide receiver position to the Super Bowl. Now, if you put the right schemer in situation, Cam has shown that he is more than capable of leading a team and playing at an MVP caliber level. Now, me personally, I wish nothing but the best for Cam, and I would like to see him get back to the big game and hopefully win it to really cement his legacy as one of the most exciting and dynamic players we have ever seen play in the NFL. But guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for watching the video. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section of where you think each quarterback should go. Subscribe to the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Share the content, y'all. Thank you guys for watching so much. Now everybody, take care, and as always, Apollo out.